Ciao ragazzi! Oggi voglio fare un video, questo video in italiano. No. So I am back with an Italian video. If you guys haven't watched my last video on my Italian studying, learning routine, then you can watch it here. But in this video, I'm basically going to talk to you about how I've been studying and learning, relearning Italian. Well, let me start from the beginning. Like years ago, I mentioned that I was learning Italian, and I did learn Italian in university. However, I've never really continued using and learning Italian because I was just not surrounded by people who would speak Italian, so I didn't really, feel like that connection. Even though I really like Italian, I've always liked Italian, and I initially started learning it by myself when I was in 7th grade or something, when I was learning French at the time in school, but I couldn't learn Italian in school because it wasn't offered, and I was learning Italian by myself. I had this Italian book and I just learned the things by myself. And then I got to university and I had the option to actually choose Italian. But at that time, I already spoke Spanish and I was learning Portuguese. So I kind of got confused a lot with Portuguese, especially not with Spanish so much because I was already fluent in Spanish. But I got confused a lot with Portuguese. Also with Spanish a little bit because I thought, okay, if I learn Italian, it will be easier because I already speak Spanish. However, I ended up confusing all three of those languages, like Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese, and it was just a hot mess. My Italian teacher would always say, this is an Italian class, this is not a Spanish class, because there were so many Hispanic people in this class, and they basically just all chose Italian just to get the credits because they thought, okay, that will be easy to learn Italian. However, everybody just ended up mixing it up with Spanish and speaking a mix of Spanish and Italian. So this was my experience with Italian, and after that I just traveled 2-3 times, I think, to Italy. The first time I ever traveled to Italy was actually just 3 years ago. Before that I had never been to Italy. Before that, I grew up in a small town in Germany, in the south of Germany, where there is a big Italian community. So I always heard Italian. Growing up, I always used to hear Italian a lot. I had a friend who was Italian. Whenever I used to go to her house, her parents would just speak Italian. Her parents couldn't even speak German that well, so they were always just speaking Italian. So I heard Italian a lot. But after my experience in university, I kind of left it at that. I just had Italian once a week for literally just 1 hour, I think, or an hour and a half. You can't really learn in just an hour and a half, and then just once a week, it's nothing if you don't basically continue learning by yourself at home. And I just left it off at that. After university, I had it for a year, I think, or two years in university. It's already been 4 years that I finished university, and after that I've never really gotten back into learning Italian. But however, this year I really wanted to make it my goal, to get back into Italian and learn it really and become fluent in Italian. That's just how I personally like to go about it, because I really like to immerse myself completely in languages I learn and speak them fluently. I don't like to just dibble dabble into different languages. So anyways, and that's when I was approached by the app Speakly, which is basically an app you can learn languages with. They currently have 7 languages, but definitely more to come. So currently you can learn Estonian, Russian, Finnish, German, Spanish, Italian, and French. So among those languages, I chose Italian because I really want to reinforce my Italian and start with it again where I kind of left it off 4 years ago when I finished university. So this is what I did. I started with Speakly. I really like the concept of Speakly because it does get you to actually speak quite a lot. And apart from Speakly, I also used other resources as well to kind of reinforce my study routine. I don't really have a study routine, but I will tell you guys what I did and what I have been doing like daily to get my Italian going and flowing. So if you want to know how my Italian is, then stay until the end of this video because I will be speaking Italian. So you can use it as an app on mobile devices as well as on your PC or computer. I've been using it on my computer. That's how I like to use it. Before you start, you can actually take a level test. I actually started off with the wrong level, kind of. I started off like from the beginning, from the very beginning, and then I figured that it was kind of too easy for me, so I then stopped halfway in and then redid an evaluation and redid a level test. So that's when my level was tested and I got like, you know, a kind of like an intermediate level. That's kind of where I left it off the last time I learned and studied Italian. And basically you can program how many words you want to learn, how many words are unlocked daily. So the lessons have words that are unlocked, and once you reach that goal, it will open up the next lesson for you to take. So you can kind of program how many words you want to learn daily, how much time you want to spend on the app daily, and that's also like very good. You can, you know, schedule your time. So I really like that I can just jump on Speakly and learn a couple of new words, do also like life situations lessons, you know, where I hear the words implemented and I hear them in kind of like a dialogue where I also have to participate and speak. So that is absolutely great. And with that, I can also listen to a monologue or like a dialogue daily. It actually says to listen to it daily. So that's also good. And I've been learning so many new words with that, and really getting the repetition helped me memorize new words and actually also use them. So what I've been doing with that, with Speakly, is also like actually using what I learned, and I use that by speaking to people. I've been listening a lot and also starting to speak, you know, right from the beginning. You always need to speak. Don't just wait until you reach a certain level until you feel comfortable to speak, but you kind of have to, you know, get out there and start speaking from day one whenever you're learning a language. So that is exactly what I did. I used my own methods. So I started speaking all the time Italian, listening to Italian music. Another great thing is that Speakly has music recommendations. So with every lesson you have music recommendations that are unlocked, so you can, you know, browse through the music library in the app. That is great. And then you can look for songs, and with those songs, you know, I'm always advertising learning languages with music and learning languages with songs. So this is amazing that they have this integrated in the app, so you can learn by listening to songs and learning the lyrics to the songs. So this is one thing that I've been also doing, listening to songs and the lyrics. Then you can also, of course, learn grammar. You can look at phrases, learn sentences, and then the life situations are great because they kind of, you know, repeat a life situation where someone, for example, would ask you something and you would have to answer. So it's kind of like a dialogue. So you actually have to speak right away. And I've been watching also a lot, but if I tell you, a lot of Netflix. So much. Like, this is my way to learn. Of course, when you learn with an app, it's great to learn with the app, but the app alone is not gonna give you like the maximum of results. You know, you always have to look for other additional resources as well. And I found that this combination I've been doing, like using the Speakly app to learn new vocabulary, to learn sentence structures, also helped me a lot. I've watched a bunch of series and Italian movies, and I've already showed you how I go about learning with series and movies, what I exactly do. I've showed you in last video where I was watching an Italian movie. So this is what I've been doing like for the past month and a half, or like almost 2 months, and I feel like my Italian has progressed so much. I've been walking around the house speaking Italian to myself. I don't even care if I don't have like someone to talk to directly, but I've been speaking to myself and I'm repeating and watching those Italian movies and series, and it really like boosts your confidence to actually speak. I'm not a person who is really afraid of speaking. I don't really have that fear of speaking. So whenever like I get the chance to speak with Italians, with people, you know, I just do it, I speak. So this is what I've been doing. And another thing I love about Speakly, it's with realistic conversations and dialogues and monologues. You know, it does make sense. Like everything you learn, phrases that you would actually use. You don't learn like random phrases and things that nobody says, you know. Another great thing is that you actually have to write out words you hear. You don't just get a multiple choice option to choose from, like with other apps, so that, you know, it's kind of like a guessing game a lot of times, and you don't really memorize how words are written. But with Speakly, you actually have to write words out yourself, so that's a good thing. And you of course type the words out, but I always recommend to write the sentences also by hand. Like anytime you have to type something, it is better to write it out by hand to memorize it like more easily. Allora, adesso voglio parlare un po' in italiano perché fa molto tempo che non parlo italiano. Ho studiato intensivamente l'italiano 2 mesi e ho imparato molto e ho parlato più italiano in questi 2 mesi che in 4-5 anni. Ho imparato l'italiano all'università, già ho detto quello, ma all'università solo era una volta alla settimana, è molto poco, e niente, una volta solo per 1 ora. E niente, e dopo quasi mai ho parlato l'italiano, solamente 2 volte quando sono andata in Italia, la prima volta a Venezia, la seconda volta a Sardegna, solamente 1 settimana, e quindi quando sto qui o quando ho vissuto in Parigi mai ho parlato l'italiano perché non ho gli amici italiani. Manco ho imparato come ascoltare le parole in italiano. Io anche ho guardato molto film in italiano. Niente, questo c'è il video in italiano. Non era il video intero in italiano, ma una parte. So, this was the video in Italian. Definitely make sure to check out Speakly. I have a special coupon code for all languages. You get 40% off. You can choose between any plans and get 40% off. So definitely make sure to check out Speakly and click on the link below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Ciao!